Welcome to Topic A, everyone. I'm your host, Gary Perna. This week on Topic A, we're going to talk about addiction. What is it? Is it something that maybe we're born with? Is it something that we pick up? Where does it come from? And how do we deal with it? And what are the best options available? This week on Topic A, we're talking with someone from Pathway to Recovery, all about addiction and how to better prepare yourself in handling a situation that you might find yourself in. This week on Topic A, only on WYLN. We'll be right back.
Penn State is right here in the Hazleton area.
We're top ranked by corporate recruiters.
We have 4-year degrees, so you can finish here
or at another Penn State campus.
There's new scholarship money available.
And there's no application fee when you visit here.
Penn State Hazleton.
Download your application fee waiver at psu.edu/visit Hazleton.
During these changing times, is your insurance program up to date? I'm local Allstate agent Gary McNeilis. I invite you to come into our office or give us a call. We'll help you be sure that you have the proper coverage to take care of all your family's needs at a price you can afford. Now more than ever, you need to be in good hands to protect everything that's important to you. Our team of insurance professionals and I will be honored to serve you. Are you in good hands?
Hey everyone, want some close-to-home fun? Join the Keystone Active Zone Passport program to create your own backyard adventure exploring parks, trails, and events. It's fun, easy, and it's free. This year's Passport has more than 30 stops. Enjoy Riverfest in Wilkes-Barre and Pittston. Discover the D&L Trail and more. Register at kazpassport.org. Visit as many stops as you want. Each stop has a question. Find the answers and log them in on the website. Start exploring today.
All Care Home Care, the health care that you need in the comfort and privacy of your own home.
At All Care Home Care, our caring and compassionate staff of skilled nurses, occupational, speech, physical therapists, dietitian, social worker, and home health aides will give you the professional care you need. Call 459-3002.
With All Care Home Care, you will feel so much better and be able to do so much more.
Remember, it's still your choice. For your care, call us and we'll be there.
And welcome back to Topic A, everyone. I'm joined by Jeannie Mateo, who is the Vice President and Clinical Director for Pathway to Recovery, Counseling Education Services, formerly known as Sorrento Gardens. You guys are located at 223 West Broad Street, the former M&T Bank building.
That is correct.
Beautiful facility down there.
Yes.
You guys. So first of all, thank you for coming on the programming.
Thank you for having me.
This is something I think for the last couple of weeks we've been emailing back and forth and really want to talk about addiction. And we want to talk about, there's many different types of addiction. There are many different maybe stigmas out there about it. What is it? How does somebody maybe have it? I mean, this whole big thing. So I want you to come on the show and talk about it. So I want to first talk about what is addiction, and is it a disease? Is it willpower? You know, do we know how the mind operates, I guess maybe is another way to put it?
Well, I think it's a great question because I think so often people believe that addiction is just mere willpower. You know, they think that if a person really wants, they should be able to quit just for the family or because they're going to lose their job, things of that nature. They feel that they should be able to put it down and to walk away from it. And so we have learned in our field over the years that addiction isn't just about willpower. Now, a person has to have a desire to make a change in their lives and a desire to have that willpower to do what they need to do and to be in recovery. But addiction, as defined by the National Institute for Drug Abuse, is a chronic relapsing brain disease that is characterized by compulsive drug-seeking behaviors despite the consequences. And so that's why we see individuals who are in this addiction piece that they will do things that goes against, you know, their values, their beliefs. If I would have talked to them 10 years ago and said, you're going to do things such as rob in order to support your habit, they may say to me, no way, that's not something I'm going to do. So there is a component that it is a disease of the brain. And so the way that I explain it to my clients is that if you were to look at your brain and you were to, the best way that I describe it is that if you look at water running over a surface and you do it time and time again, it begins to erode that surface, and so you have a divot and the water begins to just run in that particular route without any thought, if you think about it. So when a person begins to use drugs or alcohol compulsively, they continue to use it over and over, what they're doing is they're reprogramming their brains. And so we have to look at that when they enter into recovery. Those pathways are now formulated in their brains, and so we have to begin to create a blockade, if you will. The most important thing to recognize is that this brain disease is not just something that you wake up one day and you're cured. It is something that is a process, and recovery is not an event. It's a process of a lifelong process for an individual.
It kind of leads me into my next question. You know, we hear, you know, and it's no secret there's a drug issue in this area. Whether you're in Hazleton, you're in Berwick, you're in Wilkes-Barre, down in Schuylkill County, we've seen an increase in drug activity, and people getting caught with the drugs. Is there many? I know there are many programs available. Sometimes they're court order into rehab. Maybe it's somebody finally just saying, I've had enough. I need to change something. What are the different programs available to somebody, whether, you know, if they're court ordered to it or they're doing it voluntarily? You know, there are different programs, and how can somebody be enrolled in them, I guess is what I'm looking for.
Sure. We have individuals that come to us through a referral process. So we take referrals from your probation, parole. We work with state parole. We also work with local children and youth, employers. So there's many different referral sources that come to us requesting services for their clients. But there also is the individual who comes in that's looking for their own help. And so what happens is they come in to us and we complete a comprehensive drug and alcohol evaluation, which gives us a really good, clear picture as to what's been going on, the progression of use. A lot of that plays a role, the history of the family, because you have to look at, there's a lot of different components that will determine whether or not addiction is expressed. You know, we got to look at the family history. We have to look at the behaviors. We have to look at the people that they surround themselves with. A lot of that comes into play, and so we are looking at that in the evaluation process. Upon completion of an evaluation, we then as a team sit down and determine the best course of treatment for that particular client. So each client coming through our doors is looked at uniquely because their needs are very unique. And so we offer programs that are just basic information. We have a belief that knowledge is so important, and so understanding what I just explained to you, what is addiction, you know, why do I keep coming back and doing the things that I'm doing, explaining to them relapse prevention skills, triggers, warning signs. We offer programs that are very much thought-based. We have a program, a partial hospitalization program, that is one of our most intense levels of care, and so what we do is we really hone in on the thought process. You know, what is the maladaptive thinking that keeps us in this type of process, and we start to hone in on that and begin to then implement what we call the thinking replacements. And so we're helping the individual recognize and then begin to replace those. So we offer a dialectical behavioral therapy, which we work from a standpoint of looking at, once we have the feelings the thoughts under control, we then begin to look at working on the feelings. How do I deal with my everyday feelings, which I may have not done for 10 years if I've been using for 10 years. So again, we're really tailoring the treatment to the individual's needs.
And that leads into something we were talking about before the show, how they process everyday things. You said, you know, we get a flat tire. We deal with it. We put a flat tire. Maybe there was an argument at work or an argument at home, which gives them, you know, a path to go and use or go and do something. So how do we retrain the brain and get that process back to, I have a flat tire, I got to change it, not I'm going to go and do this or do that?
And so a lot of that comes with, we really have to look at, again, and we're working with the clients, we're looking at what are their underlying, there's a lot of sometimes underlying issues that come along with addiction. But there's also the part where if I've been using a drug or alcohol, whatever it may be, for years, because oftentimes we use in order to numb or to maybe to feel or escape. And so we don't deal with day-to-day stressors. And so we have to really look at it. I teach our clients that our emotions, because so many people, they live based off of their emotions. Something happens and they just respond. There's no thought process. There's no, okay, well, this could potentially bring me this consequence. We just react. And so what I'm teaching our clients is to take a step back and to be where their feet are, is what I teach them. Be here in the present moment and to really take a moment to take a deep breath and look at the entire picture. Your emotions are the fuel in the gas tank. They're not the steering wheel. And so I help my clients to take a moment to slow down, to look at the picture realistically, and to look at, okay, what are my options before they proceed forward? Because that's a piece that seems to be missing. Addiction comes with a sense of instant gratification and this all or none thinking. And you have to think about it. When I'm using drugs, alcohol, whatever it may be, I am looking and seeking instant change. I use something, I know that it's going to change. Now, if I do something that makes me happy, it may take me longer to do that, just that genuine happiness that's not pseudo-happiness, as I call it, that's created by a drug that wears off. So we have to learn, again, to change that threshold. Patience, slowing down, things of that nature. That's why mindfulness is such a big piece that we work on in our agency, is the idea of being mindful of your present moment. Be here. What do you have right now in front of you, and what can you do about it?
Okay. All right, I'm going to take a break right here. When we come back, we're going to talk about some different therapies that are available, and also how long is somebody in a therapy or in a program. You may be surprised by what Jeannie has to say. We're going to be right back here on Topic A, only on WYLN.
For over 25 years, Whitetail Preserve Shooting Range, 118 Boulevard Road, Bloomsburg, has provided professionally designed skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields. All stations are handicapped accessible with resident NRA certified shooting instructors on site. There are packages available to fit anyone's budget. Restaurant and catering on site. Our facility is also available for weddings, business meetings, bachelor and private parties. Call 570-384-2314.
The Beer Garage, 202 East Diamond Avenue in Hazleton. More than just beer. Coffee, all sizes, only $1. Get your lottery tickets here, too. Stop in today. The Beer Garage in Hazleton.
Well, I'll never forget it. 1 minute, we were talking about going to the movies, and the next, Maggie could barely speak. It was a stroke. I thought I was going to lose her. But I never saw doctors work so fast. Anyway, she's coming home tomorrow. I just hope she doesn't yell at me for killing all the plants.
Go hog wild for Iron Pigs Baseball. WYLN is televising the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs Live, America's favorite pastime on your local network, WYLN TV 35. See the Major League stars of tomorrow at Coca-Cola Park. Don't miss any of the games here on WYLN TV 35. Visit WYLNTV.com for a complete Iron Pig schedule. Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs on WYLN, your home for live sports.
It always feels good to pull my own part. Saves a lot of money, too.
I've never actually pulled it before, but I think it's time.
It's environmentally conscious, and it can be a lot of fun.
If you're a do-it-yourselfer who's up for an adventure, then come out to Harry's You Pull It. Pull your own quality recycled auto parts for up to 90% off the cost of buying new. Savings like that will keep more money in the bank, which could lead to even greater fun. Harry's You Pull It. WeGotUsed.com.
For all your projects, large and small, Bedrock Gardens has it all. They are fully stocked and ready to fill your order. Rubber mulch and rubber curbing to match. Lots of color choices to pick from. Wall stone, natural stone, full pallets ready to go. Their bins are full with rich colored quality mulch that will look wonderful all season long. Finish off your fabulous outdoor space with their quality patio furniture and easy to assemble fire pits. Everything you need for your summer projects. Delivery available, or just stop by and they will load you up. Bedrock Gardens, locally owned and operated. Call today.
WYLN Sports broadcasting live June 14th at the Weatherly Hill Climb. WYLN Sports will take you up the hill, past the Devil's Hook, around the hairpin turn, and through the Dutchman. All the turn-by-turn coverage of the Weatherly Hill Climb live on WYLN TV 35.
And welcome back to Topic A. We're talking all about addiction and recovery, and Pathway to Recovery is here talking with us. And Jeannie, we're discussing addiction, whether it was a disease or willpower. And I want to go into now how long typically is a treatment? How long is somebody seen by your office? And kind of shocked me. It was a relatively short time from what I thought it would have been.
Typically, we end up seeing clients for about 3 months. You know, a lot of the clients that are coming in that are court ordered, we see them for about 3 months, and they're looking for shorter durations in treatment. But ideally, we'd love to see clients in treatment for longer periods of time. As we were talking before, I mentioned that a client doesn't get to this point in their life overnight. And so nor are we going to be able to address and fix all of the issues in a very short period of time. We provide the client with the tools necessary to lead a successful recovery, but ultimately they need to take those tools out into their everyday life and begin to really implement them. And that's where I believe a lot of the hard work has to come into play.
Now, you know, you may see them for 3 months or so, and maybe longer, but you know, do you guys see a lot of maybe relapsing? Maybe they're in for 3 months, maybe, you know, they're out for 3 or 4 months, and you know, they may be court ordered again, you know, a couple months for another 3 months. You know, is there a ratio there, or is it just kind of something, you know, it's a case-by-case basis?
Well, I mean, you do see return, you know, so you do see clients coming back that have relapsed. As I mentioned in the beginning, you know, this is a disease that is chronic relapsing. It says it right there. And so you have to look at it from the standpoint that treatment in a whole, you know, no matter what facility you go to, we're all teaching the same core components, the same ideas. What changes is the client. And so I have a belief that, you know, the very first treatment episode that a client comes into, they may not have any interest in being there, but I have a belief at that time I get to plant a seed. And so they may not even realize that they're walking away with some knowledge. And so each time they come through the door, we begin to fertilize that seed, if you will. And so eventually, over time, it will begin to take root, and then it will begin to blossom. And that happens when the client is ready to make those changes, because they have to really want to put the footwork in. I don't have the power to make them change, but I do have the ability to give them the tools to be successful. They need to pick them up and to use those particular tools. And so we want to make sure that we give them the support systems that they need, and we want to make sure that they're looking at their people, places, and things. And so a lot of times people look at, okay, well, I'm clean. I'm not using, so I'm successful in my recovery. But really, we have to look at it. Recovery is not just about use of the drug. It's about not only stopping that piece of it, it's also looking at my behaviors, my people, my places, the things. What I surround myself with is so important and so key. And so I have to look at and analyze those things. What thoughts do I need to start to change? What behaviors do I need to start to change? There's a lot of components that go into a successful recovery. And as I mentioned earlier, one of the most important things to understand is that it's not an event. I'm not going to wake up one morning and be recovered. It's something that I'm going to work on in a lifelong way. And so early in recovery, I may do a lot of things that are recovery oriented. I may be going to treatment, I may be going to meetings every day, maybe twice a day, because it's what I need early in my recovery. And as more time passes, I may not need to do all those things as often, but I still need to be working some type of recovery program. And so we have to look at that, because a lot of times clients don't fully understand that piece, and that can potentially contribute to a relapse.
All right, I'm going to move on to medically assisted therapies. You know, what are these? And is it a to me, it's something new. I'm learning with everyone here. You know, what is it, and how does it affect maybe what you guys did a couple of years ago? Is it something new? Is it something, how does it work?
So medically assisted therapies are going to be things such as methadone, Suboxone, Vivitrol, things of that nature. They are prescribed by a doctor, and so what their intentions are is to help the client. So let's use Suboxone for an example. Suboxone is typically for the opiate user, and so what it does is it blocks the receptors so that the individual does not feel the effects of the opiates. And so what it does is it gives them an opportunity without all of the intense urges and cravings to begin to look at some of the other components of recovery that we spoke about. And so we see that the greatest success is when the medically assisted therapies are used in conjunction with the treatment components of it, because the Suboxone, things of that nature, is not going to teach them the life skills that they need. It's not going to teach them the recovery principles or to really look at the underlying issues that contribute to the continued use. So it's a stepping stone, if you will, in recovery. It's used in some cases. It's not used in all cases, but it is used in some cases. And we do see it, like I said, successful along with the treatment component versus just being used alone.
Okay. All right. And that is it something newer to the field compared to, maybe in the 70s and 80s? Is it something that we're seeing more use of today?
I believe that we're seeing more use of it today. It has been in the field for quite some time now, but it seems like we're seeing a little bit more use of it in helping individuals. And like I said, when used correctly, it is something that can be beneficial. It's not something that needs to be used in every case. And again, that goes back to looking at each case very uniquely and determining what is best for that particular client.
All right. So what is personal medicine? And it is something kind of new we were talking about earlier. What is it and what is it used for, and how does it use?
Okay. So personal medicine is a newer terminology that's being kind of popping up within the field. And so what it is it looks at a client again, and this is that I go back to the uniqueness. I keep saying that, it seems like, but it goes back to looking at that particular client and looking at what tools can we give to that particular client that's going to be beneficial to them. And so we do that through things such as I mentioned earlier, the mindfulness skills. We work with them on things called emotional regulation, which is just learning ways to deal with their emotions in healthy ways. And we have to understand that we all feel emotions. We're all going to feel emotions. And so knowing how to cope with them in ways that are going to protect our peace and stability, I teach my clients, versus taking them into a place that's going to cause them negative consequences is important. We want to teach people distress tolerance skills. Basically what that means is I want to be able to help them deal with the daily stressors, paying the bills, going home and finding the water heater's broken, things of that nature, just dealing with those everyday skills. I want to teach them about interpersonal relationships. And so that's being in relationships, not just intimate relationships, but as a whole with individuals. We teach the clients that they want to surround themselves with people who are positive and uplifting, people that are going to support their ultimate goals. And so we do that through giving them these specific skill sets that they can take and begin to truly implement in their lives right away. And that's one of the most important pieces of it. So we're really looking at, again, what does this client need? What do they have going on, and what's going to meet their needs?
Okay. I'm going to take a break right here. We come back. We'll have the closing couple of minutes here on Topic A. Stay with us. You're watching Topic A only on WYLN.
A winning smile. It's not the secret to success, but it sure helps. Protect your smile by visiting Dr. Weiss for complete dental services. Dr. Weiss offers a full-service denture laboratory on premises, offering dentures in one day. 3 dentists, 4 hygienists, and a team of caring technicians and assistants specializing in quality dentures and repairs, complete general dentistry, extractions, cleaning, and caps. Dr. Weiss, where you can have new dentures in one day.
Join us this week on Women Today. Would you like your pet to be this well adjusted? Maria McAlee, who's a chiropractor to the animals, will tell you how. We'll tell you what the Simply Home Rewind of the Week is. We're going to cook with Kathy. We'll tell you who got that great box of chocolate from Victoria's. More great giveaways, and we'll tell you who our sensational senior is. It's all coming up this week on Women Today. Join us.
If you haven't found the perfect fishing getaway, you haven't been to Captain's Cove. Located on Henderson Harbor in upstate New York, Captain's Cove offers a variety of accommodations to please just about anyone. The motel, also located on the harbor, offers a magnificent view. Enjoy free morning coffee, air-conditioned rooms, cable TV, and HBO. The cottage can accommodate up to 8 people with 3 bedrooms, a complete kitchen, washer, dryer, 2 full baths, air conditioning, and outside grill and picnic table. Call us today for rates and information at 1-800-824-FISH.
Welcome back, everyone, to Topic A. In our closing roughly 4 minutes, Jeannie, I want to talk about the services that are provided at Pathway to Recovery. I know you guys deal with a lot with different programs with rehabilitation, drug use, and all that. What are services out there available through Pathway that people can come in and get counseling, and how does it all work?
So in our outpatient department, which is where we provide treatment, the treatment component of it, we offer individual sessions, we offer group sessions, and as I mentioned a little bit earlier, we have a large gamut of different groups that we provide, from education to therapeutic groups, which again is going to be determined based on the client's needs. We also provide family counseling. We have a belief that the family, addiction is a family issue. It's not just one particular person, because it affects everyone within the family. So we want to look at that relationship. And then we also provide some couples counseling, working primarily with substance abuse and the individuals that are affected by that. So we also are on the forefront, if you will, in our prevention education department, looking at it from the standpoint of getting out as much knowledge as possible. And so we're in our school district and we're talking with the kids. We're in our community, we're talking to employers, we're talking to the seniors, and we're trying to get as much information out there as possible about this particular topic, because we have a belief that knowledge is power, and so we really want to be on the forefront of providing that education.
All right, and of course the number is up on your screens, 570-455-9902. Pathway to Recovery's 223 West Broad Street, downtown Hazleton, the old M&T Bank building, across from the Philharmonic building, Broadchurch Street, right at the Cross Center. How important, and you were talking about education and getting into the schools. We're seeing a trend where kids now, today, are being introduced to drugs and stuff a lot earlier than maybe before. So getting into the high school, even the upper part of the middle school, to get that information out to them, to educate them, prevent them, very crucial.
I agree with you 100%. We are seeing younger ages of onset. We're seeing individuals using drugs at a younger age, and different types of drugs at a younger age. So we do believe it's important to get in there and to be talking with those individuals.
Now, somebody wants to come to your facility, they can do just by calling and talking to your staff and seeing what's going on.
Exactly. They're welcome to give us a call. One of our courteous staff members will be happy to help them, kind of talk them through the process as to what is going to occur, schedule them an appointment to come in and see one of our therapists. And then again, once the completion of the evaluation, we sit down and we look at the case and what's going to be most appropriate for this client, and work from there.
Okay, so, and I want to thank you for coming on, and I invite you back at any time to talk, and hopefully we'll work out a show for later in the summer. There are a lot of information, especially when it comes to addiction, recovery programs out there. Jeannie said to me, she goes, I don't know if we're going to be able to cover everything in a half hour, but it was good. And Jeannie, I thank you very much for enlightening me on all this information. And again, you're welcome back at any time. Again, that phone number for Pathway is 570-455-9902. They're located on West Broad Street in downtown Hazleton. Talk to them, stop in. If you feel you need some counseling, call them and get the help that you need. They'll help you with that. Thank you so much for joining us on Topic A, everyone. I'm Gary Perna, and remember, this is where the community comes to talk. All summer long, we're going to have some great shows for you throughout the summer. Don't miss it. We're not going anywhere. We'll be here all summer long giving you all the information. And hey, the community has a lot to say in the summertime, so we'll see you right here on Topic A. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone. We'll catch you next time. Have a great rest of your night.